There's plenty of boosts in the area. We've got lots of engagement in our community, like around the region. There's lots of clubs playing rugby league. The problem we have is that they're all at this moment in time 15, 16, 17 years of age. Lads that are bringing into our academy from Cumbria and from the region are still 4 or 5 years off being professional players or championship players. The problem I have at this moment in time is I need to provide a championship team and I need to provide a competitive championship team. To do that, I have to compete with all the teams that want the best players. So it's a big challenge because the pool's not massive anyway, but the region itself is a great place to play sport. There's lots of rugby league, lots of community engagement, lots of understanding, but we've still got a hell of a lot of work to do to get us to where we want to be.
Well, Dennis, a big thank you for joining us. And how are preparations going ahead of the start of the Magic Weekend on Friday night against Bradford?
We've gone really well. Like I said, we had a bit of a disappointment from our performance against Featherstone last week. But we're getting some bodies back. We've got some people that are just playing their first games, and we've got some people coming back from suspensions as well. So all of a sudden, we're just starting to look a little bit more like the group we started out with. And it's been a good week's preparation so far.
And it's been a couple of weeks or so for yourself that you're now having to get back into the swing of it with regards to, being a head coach as well as a director of rugby. How are you finding that transition as well? Because obviously, you had to play Fev last week. I think you had to play Workington, which was a better outcome the week before. So, I mean, how are you finding things?
It's fine. Like I say, it's not something that I've not done for a long time. And I was doing a little bit of coaching and helping out Eamon anyway, but now just taking over, running the day-to-day stuff. And like I said, I've got plenty of support here. I've got some good staff that are jumping in and doing plenty of work as well. So it's just a little bit business as usual. We're not changing much. We're just trying to like I said before, trying to get some bodies back on the field, trying to build some confidence within the group, and just that little bit of belief that we've lacked, mainly because of our inconsistency of selection, and that's led to an inconsistent performance.
And with regards to, this season, like you say, you've had injuries and that kind of thing, but it was always going to be a bit of a transitional year, wasn't it? Going full time. It's not like you could just switch on a switch and go, here's a ready-made squad for the Super League. It was always going to be, one step at a time. I mean, how has this season been?
Well, not an inability of understanding externally so what full time actually looks like and means. Like I say, there's plenty of teams within the competition that run a pretty extensive program. Like say, just because they start at 4 o'clock and finish at 8, 9 o'clock at night doesn't mean that they're not doing a similar kind of hours to us. The logistics of Newcastle means that there's all the best players or the players that are required for us to do well in the championship at this moment in time are not based in Newcastle. So we have to bring them into that catchment areas, so they're not travelling for 2.5, 3 hours, and then maybe sometimes 5 hours, depending on what traffic's like around the region. So that was the massive pull on trying to get lads that are able to train in the day and get them in an environment which it becomes their job per se, as instead of having a job in the day and then doing some other stuff at night. So it's been a strange transition for the group, and we've had to grow pretty young. We picked up quite a lot of young players out of some championship environments and also some Super League environments. So they're on a learning curve. We've also started recruitment quite late because of what we wanted to try and do. So we started pre-season with, I think it was 10 people on the field and a squad of about 19. We've managed to increase that to about 24, 25. And then throughout the year, we've been unlucky with some injuries. So it's been a challenging year, let's say. But like I said, things are moving forward. We're starting to recognise that there's lots of good in what we're doing. It might not be translating itself onto the field in the scoreboard sense, but we know that those things are being put in place, that we've got a platform to be able to really spring forward over the next couple of years.
Because obviously we've touched upon the, on the field and developing year on year. Off the field, certainly, every time I speak to Newcastle Thunder, it's just great, isn't it, what's going on with the community game and that. But it is all about sustainability, isn't it, and making sure you've got a conveyor belt of players.
Yeah, there's plenty of boosts in the area. We've got lots of engagement in our community, like around the region, there's lots of clubs playing rugby league. The problem we have is that they're all at this moment in time 15, 16, 17 years of age. Lads that are bringing into our academy from Cumbria and from the region, they're still 4 or 5 years off being professional players or championship players. The problem I have at this moment in time is I need to provide a championship team and I need to provide a competitive championship team. To do that, I have to compete with all the teams that want the best players. So it's a big challenge because the pool's not massive anyway, but the region itself it's a great place to play sport. There's lots of rugby league, lots of community engagement, lots of understanding, but we've still got a hell of a lot of work to do to get us to where we want to be.
And one thing that this weekend brings is a massive shot in the arm for rugby league in the region. Obviously, not just the Magic Weekend itself, but this curtain raiser on Friday night against the Bradford Bulls. What can we expect crowd-wise? Because I'm hearing there's quite a few tickets being sold in advance of this game already. I mean, it's going to be a big occasion.
I'm not privy to the exact numbers. We're hoping for over 3,000, 3,500 people as a starting point, and hopefully we can build on that. So it's going to be our biggest game of the year, and the stadium itself lends to a few thousand people, create a great atmosphere. So it's going to be a great event, so to speak. The TV cameras are here. Everybody will be fired up for what's coming over the weekend. So we're that little bit of an appetizer. Like I say, we want to be able to whet the appetite of everybody that wants to watch rugby league and wants to enjoy rugby league over the weekend. And hopefully what we'll have here, we'll have a number of Super League fans, from the big games that are happening on Saturday, people that are coming up on a Friday night, staying over, getting ready for the Magic Weekend, can come up to Kingston Park and enjoy, like I say, that prelude to the main course.
And how important is obviously it's live on Premier Sports as well, but I know the local TV's getting involved with previewing not just this game but Magic Weekend more generally. How important is it for the growth of the game? What happens this weekend in July?
We can say it's really important, but we won't really know until later on. Like I say, what we can do is we can generate a great atmosphere. It's going to be, we know the product is going to be great. I mean, Bradford are playing good this year. They've got some things that they need to improve over the last couple of weeks. We've got some improvement to do. It's a big stadium for playing rugby, and they've got some great halfback partnerships. They've got some ex-players that came from here that want to prove a point, and we've got lads that are trying to find some confidence and trying to improve week in, week out. So all in all, like I said, it's massive for us because a club like Bradford is one of those things. Like I said, there's the big hitters in this league. Everybody talks about their aspirations of what they want to do moving forward. Their history is steeped in grand final wins and Challenge Cup wins. So it's a big challenge, and it's a great game for us to have on TV on a Friday night here, pre Magic Weekend.